Hi class. First I'm going to show you how you should write your topic with the 5 details on your draft in your notebook. So here's my topic, birthday party, and here are my 5 details as you can see them. Okay, next I'm going to read you a story that I wrote. On May 27th, 2013 was the 80th birthday party of a man named Mr. Robert Johnson. The party was located at Thatcher State Park. Since Mr. Johnson was a well-known community leader, the party was open for anybody in town to stop by. The party occurred on a warm day with a slight breeze. There were many picnic tables set up for the guests to sit at. Mr. Johnson and his family were sitting under a pavilion. The smell of barbecued food was in the air as the caterers prepared lunch for the hungry guests. After all of the guests arrived, the first thing that took place was that everybody lined up to get their food. There were hot dogs, hamburgers, lots of different salads, assorted fruits, vegetables, and a dessert table. Second, after the guests ate lunch, it was time for a speech by Mrs. Johnson. She spoke about all of the great ways that Mr. Johnson has helped the community. She recalled his time as a school principal, as a volunteer, and she spoke about his generous donations to many charities. Mrs. Johnson said, "I consider myself very lucky to be married to such a special man." Next, it was time for the birthday cake. The guests all sang happy birthday to Mr. Johnson, and then he blew out his 80 birthday candles. Then each guest enjoyed a delicious slice of cake. I heard one guest say, "This is the best birthday cake I've ever eaten." After eating cake, the guests began to leave. Mr. Johnson thanked each guest individually for celebrating with him on his special day. Finally, after all of the guests had gone home, the Johnson family cleaned up the rest of the food, took out the garbage, loaded the car up with Mr. Johnson's gifts, and headed home for a relaxing night after a great party. Mr. Johnson was very pleased with his party, and all of the guests had a great time. That's one example of a story that you could write about. As you could tell, I chose a topic, which was the birthday party. I used a lot of words such as first, then, after, next, and finally. And I included sensory details about the food that was eaten, the smells that I could smell, and I included a conclusion about what happened after all the guests left. I hope this helps. Good luck writing your story.